Every March, something powerful happens in Ghana. Flights from the United States, the United Kingdom, and the Caribbean begin filling up with African diaspora travelers.
Welcome home.
Especially Black Americans returning to the motherland. From Harlem in New York to Accra in Ghana, thousands are arriving not just to visit, but to reconnect with their roots. And that is because March is Ghana month. And this year, the celebration is getting bigger than ever. Today in this video, we tell the stories of different Black Americans who have arrived in Ghana to celebrate the Ghana March that Ghana attained independence. If today is the first time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share the video. Now let's get into the story.
If you've enjoyed this video so far, please do me a huge favor and hit the like button and subscribe. These videos take quite a long time to make, so if you could help me out, I'll love you forever. Thank you all for your support. Now let's get back to this crazy story.
So the month of March has become known as Ghana month, and it's because that was the month that Ghana attained independence. Exactly 6 March was when Ghana attained independence. So it is the period when Ghanaians celebrate their culture, heritage, food, music, and history. And the celebrations usually peak around Ghana's Independence Day on 6 March, making the country's freedom from British colonial rule in 1957. But in recent years, something interesting has happened. Ghana month is no longer just a local celebration. Now, when you go to Ghana, TV stations are rocking their Ghanaian fugu and Ghanaian attire and all the kente and all of that. But now, Ghana month is no longer just a local celebration because it has become global diaspora movement. Black Americans and other members of the African diaspora are increasingly traveling to Ghana during the period to experience authentic African culture. And many say it feels like coming home. So across social media, videos are showing African Americans arriving at the Accra International Airport in Accra, and they are being welcomed with Ghanaian scarves, music, and traditional greetings. Now, some of the visitors are coming from countries like New York, Atlanta, Washington, D.C., Chicago, and Los Angeles. And many of these groups are organized by cultural organizations, travel collectives, and diaspora networks. And one group from the Harlem in New York recently arrived to participate in the Cultural Oneness Festival, an event celebrating African unity and shared heritage. Now, once in Ghana, the visitors took part in several traditional experiences. These include traditional naming ceremonies. So I've already told you that one of the things that you visit Ghana as a diasporan, which will be done for you, is to be given a Ghanaian name. Name is a sign of representation. It shows where you are from. Every Ghanaian has his Ghanaian name. So if you are born, Wednesday, you are called Ekua. Aisha Spirit was given a new Ghanaian name. And same as any diaspora who visits Ghana will be given a Ghanaian name. So one of the events is the traditional naming ceremony.
Abina Frempoma.
Within the say,
Abina Frempoma.
your friend will say,
Abina Frempoma.
Piao.
Abenade.
Within the say,
Abenade.
your friend will say,
Abenade.
Yo, Abuaje.
within the say,
Yo, Abuaje.
your friend will say,
Yo, Abuaje.
always you sit upright when you visit any palace here.
And so some of these diasporans receive names in symbolic ceremonies, reconnecting them to their ancestral identity. Now, another event which are also being done for them is the foot washing rituals. Now, in some communities, elders wash the feet of visitors in a traditional welcome ritual, symbolizing purification and return to the land of the ancestors. Now, one of the events is the cultural festival. So events like the Cultural Oneness Festival bring together music, dance, storytelling, and African fashion. And with this, diasporans can experience raw, unfiltered Ghanaian music and dance, where they also try to mimic this dance. And some of them have been taken to native Ghanaian cities like Jamestown. Others, even for their first time in life, boarded Ghanaian trotro, which is called Trotsky. They went to the busy market in Accra, Kaneshi or Teshi, and boarded this trotro, which mostly have about 15 Ghanaians, 20 Ghanaians in a bus transporting to a certain location. Some of them tried this experience.
Okay, right now we're at the Achimota bus stop. This is where you will stop to pick up a trotro to go to your next location. It's a lot of hustle and bustle. A lot of people on the move. A lot of people on the go. Thank you, sir.
That dude a real roadside mechanic, ain't he?
Did you use your name?
We're in business again.
Yeah. Inside the truck.
On the road again.
Yeah, on the road again.
I can't wait to get on.
Other visitors travel to historic locations like the Cape Coast Castle, the Elimina Castle.
Every black person living should go to Ghana and see them slave castles so you can see what they did to us. You got to see what they did to us. You got to see how they built these dungeons underground and they put these churches on top and they dug holes in the ground to pump the music of what they call their Christianity into the holes while, man, they did. Let me explain something to y'all. They walk them as far as they can first to make them lose weight. They put them in a room, then they cut a door, and after you've been in this room in 2 weeks, they walk you through this door. If you lose the right amount of weight, you fit through the door. If you don't fit through the door.
And our Semanso Slave River, which has a lot of the cultural connection. These sites tell the painful story of the transatlantic slave trade, making the journey deeply emotional for many diasporan travelers. And in many events, most of them break down and end up even crying for their ancestors. Some of these diasporans also paid a courtesy call to a local clinic in the Volta region, and they were taken through how things are done in the Now, why are these diasporans visiting Ghana? Ghana has become the leading destination for African diasporan tourism. And there are diasporans who have been to Ghana will tell you that you can travel to any country in Africa, but when you come to Africa, there is a sense of healing in just traveling to Ghana.
Ghana is one of those portals for healing for Black people. I felt that while I was there. It was confirmed after visiting other countries. I am curious to see if that same portal to healing is on just in West Africa generally, but Ghana is one of those portals to healing. That sense of safety, the people, the lessons learned, the visiting places where our ancestors were, the dungeons, and then things like drumming and naming ceremonies and connections. It's just a portal to healing. And reflecting back on those weeks before the trip, I feel like other people have had a similar experience, only because even if they were from other countries in Africa, people were so excited about me visiting Ghana with my daughter. I'm just thinking back to the pharmacist who was from Ethiopia and hugged me and my daughter. Like, as she's giving us the vaccines, she like hugged us like, this is amazing. You're going to love it. The Ghanaian people are special. The way my daughter's pediatrician responded when she knew that we were going, or people who had been to Ghana before, or many of my clients, like when I told them, it was like, oh, this is going to be something. And at the time, I'm like, this is all interesting, but I think there is something special about that country. And if you've been to Ghana or other West African countries, can you share your experience? Did you feel that same sense of healing while you were visiting, or did you have a completely different experience? Let us know in the chats.
And the momentum began with a famous year of return in 2019, when the Ghanaian government invited Africans in the diaspora to reconnect with the motherland. And since then, thousands have continued visiting every year. And as we speak now, many are now buying lands, starting businesses, investing in Ghana, or even relocating permanently. And during Ghana month, cities like Accra, Cape Coast, Kumasi, Tamale see a major rise in tourism activity. Local fashion designers, musicians, and food vendors also gain international exposure. The journey is more than tourism. It is about identity, healing, and reconnection. And after centuries of separation caused by slavery, many feel that stepping on African soil brings a sense of belonging they had never experienced before. Which of the diasporans visits really touched your heart in this video? Leave your comment in the comment section. It's a wrap for today.